Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you have me watch. My voice is terrible, but this is Risco in Tokyo coming at you with some more Little Big Planet 3 community levels, but mostly create mode because I need to do create mode because I've got this level that needs to be published, and I'm gonna be busy next week because I ain't got that many dealy bobbers. And by dealy bobbers, I mean videos in the backlog. Also, they've screwed up our tags, because, of course they've screwed up our tags, because why would they have not? Oh. Why am I not on mute? Why is my voice? I don't need my voice. Go away, voice.
Why am I not on mute?
Hate it. I hate it.
My voice. I don't need my voice. Go away, voice.
Also, Panda, I can't see what you've said, but I'm so glad you're here. Des! Wonderful to see both of you.
Panda, I can't see what you've said, but
Also, there's like a heck of a lag. I'm so sorry about that.
wonderful to see both of you.
Oh, okay. Is sung into existence by one cheerful frog with a banjo. I love that. I'm excited for singing into existence. That reminds me of a indie tabletop RPG that I've been following, kind of, sort of, like not deeply, but just because I really love the art for it. But I think it's called Songs We Sing, and I'm pretty sure that there is some kind of song-based magic system in it. But I think the art is just nifty, and if you like, I can share that creator with you on the Tumblrs. Doing a lot better today. I saw that message and I was so happy to hear it because yesterday it sounded like you had, like, there was a lot going on, and I was not pleased with all that going on, but I'm glad that it's sorted now. Des says dealing with higher management people not taking responsibility, shock shock, for accessibility of their documents and passing it off to others. Love that, and by love that I mean hate it. I hate it. I'm not shocked. Like I'm in 0%. I am in 0%. I am 0% surprised. But like, yeah, love to see it. Quill says did spend a full 2 hours on hold. Oh my god. They called you, at least they called you back, but that's like, that's asking way too much from anybody. That's not cool. Like, that's super not cool. Well, we've got our teleporters in here. I mean, I know that you said it was government stuff, so I guess you did not, like, can't really expect much, but it was a 2-minute fix. Okay, I feel like I'm like the supercomputer in that Philip K. Dick story, the one that hates humanity with every nano wafer of its giant processing core. That's so wrong. At least it's sorted. I mean, at least it's sorted. I guess. I totally get this busy time of year for IT support and education, but I should have been able to fix this with an email. Yes. I mean, you're right on both points, but it should have been fixable with an email. There's no reason that you should have had to gone through this entire hullabaloo. This malarkey, as it were. I feel that this was very much malarkey, and I'm not here for it. Unless, you know, you like malarkey, but I don't think that you actually do like malarkey, so I'm just thinking, less malarkey. Where's the teleporter? I know there's like a teleport. There we are. Better yet, don't disable my account when I have a contract position already signed and filled. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You would think that that would be that would be the way to go about it. I don't really understand why they disabled the account in the first place. Cameras. Start my other job on Monday too. Is this the wait, hold on a second. Let me just like roll back the file in my head a second to make sure I've got like I'm getting details in the right order. This is not the training job that you were getting this isn't the training job that you were kind of stressing a little bit about. Hive! Hive! Thank you, Hive, and thank you for, you know, kind of pointing out that nobody's screwed up yet, but that it's, you know, it is a family-friendly stream. I mean, that would have been, I need to stop relying on you to do that because it's not fair, but I should be setting that up for days like that you can't be here. This is the 1 day of a week job at a different school. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. You go here. Got, like, there's bunches of little stuff. This is gonna be a level. I'm making this level. This is mine. I mean, it's mostly to be a hub of level links for other people's levels, but I did this. I'm very pleased with myself. The account was established for my sub-teaching job, which lapsed at the end of the year. The account should have been reactivated for my part-time teaching role so I can do my job. Okay. I guess, like, at the very least, and it is, like, the very least, but at the very least it wasn't malice. Oh, wait, I missed something from Des. What did I miss to Des? Oh, Hive is responding to something from earlier. Have you been here for a bit, Hive, and I didn't notice you, and I didn't say hello, and oh my god, Hive, I still haven't said hello? Hive, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're feeling better. The food poisoning sounded not great. Oh, Floppable, wonderful to see you as well. It's very good to see you as always. I don't want to add anything more to this shape. Don't worry. Level, don't stress. Mods can see chat history. Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. What was I gonna say? But no, I'm glad that all of you are here. As always, I hope that life is not giving you any more stress than you feel like you can deal with. Because, you know, that sucks. And that, yes. It is a useful tool. I've used it a few times, but I've only needed to use it a few times, so I forget that it exists constantly. And then, like, Kronos is usually one be like, you know, Disco, you could just peep the chat history if you're worried about scrolling up for messages. I feel like either of those are going to destroy the card, Des, which is, I mean, amusing in its own way, but Flopple says, I'm okay. Fire Emblem arrived today, but I'm so busy with the new cat, I haven't played too much of it. That's fair. I mean, new cat is, that's like a lot of energy that you kind of got to deal with, so it's understandable if you haven't gotten to the Fire Emblem yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I haven't heard anything about it, so I cannot and will not spoil it. It was my partner's birthday the other day, and they're really happy with the ear monitors. Lovely. I love that. Wait, did I miss you? Hold on. There was like 3 or 4 different things that hit chat at the same time. So, oh, I haven't played too much of it, but you are on chapter 4, so it's not that you haven't started it at all. Quill said I'm a useful tool when I feel like being annoying but helpful. I don't know if I like the self-application of the word tool there. I mean, I know that it's said tongue-in-cheek and with a wink and a nod, but you know how I feel. Cat business is important business from Hive. This is absolutely true. And responding to Des, I've been lectured for an hour by a pair of directors who were miffed that I asked legal for clarification of current processes could possibly run afoul of our disability discrimination legislation. And I've had to attend legal training too. Like, y'all, people with floppable, could you reassure me, do you have a job that has no responsibility like myself? Because I feel like I'm in a chat full of adults and I am but a child. And that's wrong because I'm the oldest person here. So please tell me, Floppable, that you are also like me. Glad you could do something, but I hope things get sorted ASAP. I think the IT stuff got sorted because that's kind of a holdover from yesterday. If I'm picking up on what you're responding to, I used to work in games media. If you want to talk about peak responsibility, irresponsibility, I mean honestly, Flopple, you don't have to reassure me. If you have a job that requires responsibility now and acting like an adult, I respect that. I absolutely do. I was just kind of hoping that it wasn't, just me. Apparently it's gonna be just me. Now I've got more people to respect. The parody book sounds delightful. Oh, the card. Gotcha. I think he should work a bit to unwrap it. Des nails. I mean, nails would leave a book still readable. Like, he wouldn't have to destroy it to get it open. Also, nails are very classy. Nails are extremely classy. Why? Oh, there we go. I do want a scoreboard in here. Just in case people don't want any of the levels and they just decide they want to bop and get a score. I see the thermometer like creeping up little by little, and I hate it. I hate it so. Because we were going like so well without any thermo, and then, that happened. I need this scoreboard to just be... I don't want the base. So we're gonna do an old Hello, Tongue. Would you like to work today, Tongue? Probably not. I had to talk a lot today. I'm gonna do an old school LBP1 trick to get a more dynamic scoreboard, and that is to blow it up. Boof! Love it! Works a charm. I love that Sumo never fixed that. I was gonna do some drawing or maybe play a game, but accidentally turned on my 4K Blu-ray player on, which turned my TV on, so I ended up skipping around my King Kong 4K Blu-ray, and by God do I wish modern CGI heavy blockbusters even reached one iota of the level of crap on display in the Kong versus three Rexes fight. Wait, like King Kong, like the King Kong? The old school with Fay Ray King Kong? I don't know if I've ever actually seen King Kong. Oh, the Peter Jackson one. I have seen the Peter Jackson one. I've seen bits and pieces of the old King Kong, but I don't think I've ever actually watched, like, it in its entirety. It was one of those things that would always be on, like, TNT or TBS, just at random hours. I'm glad that I already had a winch in this level. I do appreciate the Peter Jackson King Kong mealworm scene. Bloodworm? Mealworm? I don't know. They're worms, and they're just gribbly as heck. And we appreciate a good gribbly worm in this household. We're here for the worms. The gribbly ones, not like the Pink Floyd ones, because those are Nazis. I'm pretty sure that the worms were Nazis in the wall, but I don't remember. It was all metaphor and stuff, and I'm no good at metaphor. I've seen most of the old King Kong, but it was at a screening in university, and some absolute creative insult here, that I am too brain tired to come up with sat directly in front of me and talked to the whole darn movie about how it's so old and crusty looking. Yeah, there's one of the big songs that Pink sings in his persona as, like, the Pink the fascist is Waiting for the Worms, and I think the worms are like the fascist movement, but I don't remember. It's been a long time, and like part of the joke, I guess, is that the song is kind of a banger until you listen to the lyrics, and it's like, wow, that's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Flopple's gonna start some fires. Wait. Oh, about the King Kong thing. Remember the song well? Okay, so then you were just pulling my chain. And also, Ludo, it is wonderful to see you. I hope that you're doing exceptionally well. I hope that you are healthy, because I heard that, like, Alice has maybe got the COVID again, and that's not so great. So I hope that you don't, I hope that you don't have any illness going on with you. I think there's some, like, worm imagery in the wall, but it's been a long time since I've been forced to watch it, and I'm not going to ever watch it again. Also, I did catch, Floppable, that you mentioned that Doug Walker told you everything you needed to know about the wall, and I feel some kind of ways about that. I may really dislike the wall, but I do respect the wall. I dislike the wall for reasons that are pretty much completely outside of the wall. I mean, yeah, and then there's internal reasons as well, but mostly it's external stuff. I like songs where it's a cool fusion of bluegrass and black metal, and then you pay attention to the lyrics, and it's about violent labor strike. You know? That's a mood. Alice spent the last 2 months being on and off sick. It's been great for podcasting. I hate it. I don't want any of y'all to be sick. Which is one of those, like, hi, this is a completely obvious statement that probably I didn't even need to say, but I said it anyways because it's true. Also hiccups. Like, I don't like those, but I do seem to have them, so that's cool. Panopticon's Kentucky is an absolute masterpiece of an album. I need to remember that. I am not familiar, but it sounds pretty rockin'. What am I... Okay, Disco, like, you need to figure out what it is you're doing. Okay. Grabbable bit. This is not gonna be... This is just like a stand-in right now. Got a grabbable bit, and that's gonna go not to here. So don't even do that. This is gonna go to... Fudge. How does this work again? Broadcast microchip. With a controlinator? Quill says, I lived in a region with massive worms that grow to be several feet long. And I resent them being slandered as fascists. That's kind of a lot. Quill, I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of a lot. Several feet long is... That's a lot of, it's a lot of worms. Disable poppet controls. Yes. This is gonna be transmitting. Enormous worms are very on point for Australia. I mean, I feel kind of like enormous everything is on point for Australia. It's either like big or poisonous. I kind of feel like that's the thing. Anti-capitalist experimental death metal. That sounds exciting. I like that. I like the cut of that jib. Broadcast target. I've never broadcast to like anything but players. Creatures. And closest in range. And it's just gonna be here because it's on grab. I forget how all of this works and I hate it. It's been a while since I've needed to do this. Creatures, right. All players, right. Nearest player? No, it's gotta be nearest player, right? Lead player? Fudge. Now, do I need to have... I mean, I think I just need to have this set up like this. And then let's put... Because we need to get players out, so... When they teleport... We're gonna put this here. And we'll make it purple. Because purple is pretty. Dupe. Purple is pretty. Very much so. We're here for purple. See, we have consensus. I am good with this. I'm sorry, like, if I'm a little bit noodly tonight. I don't intend it, but it's been a very, like, it's been a very brain meats kind of day. And I am kind of decompressing a little bit. So if it seems like I'm fading a little bit in and out, I do, like, super apologize. I'm trying to track everything. Basically, as far as the teleporters here, I just want a way for players that if they only want to see the level recommendations, that they don't have to fiddle around with gameplay. So have a little teleport system on the side. And that will reset the teleporter. So the grab's going to turn it on, and that should take us to the menu. And I need to remember how to set up this camera. How do I set up this camera? I mean, do I just... I guess I could just make it a different color. That works. That could be doable. We could make this like a teal, an aqua teleport. Because aqua is also a nice color. And we'll bump that out to 2000. Oh, come back, down, 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 down. And this will go on use hold time, set hold time to infinite, transition down to 0, because we don't want to wait at all for our transition time. We want it to happen immediately. It's a joke. Not a good one, but it's a joke. And now let's see. Instant transition like Goku. That's a lie. Like, doesn't Goku take about 12 episodes to do flippin' anything? I feel like that's kind of a thing. Goku's gotta, like, strain and build power levels for about 12 episodes, whilst Frieza no-sells everything. It's a wordplay. Oh! I did not know that. I have learned new thing today. Okay. So this should, emphasis on should, this should work. Hello? That totally didn't do a thing. Why did you not do a thing? Oh, fudge. Hi. It was worth laughing. Also, continuing to not do a thing. Oh, Alice. Alice, are you feeling a little bit better? Oh my god. Okay! This is gonna do a thing now! Okay, good. Step 1, thing was accomplished. I'm currently feeling better, that makes me feel very good. Step 2, it does not work. Why? Okay. At least we got to the camera. But like, this should be broadcasting. It's a transmitter for trans people. And it should be broadcasting to blue. Now this is a receiver, and it should be receiving from blue. Or wait. Hold on a second. I want to test a thing. But then how? God, I had this fabulous teleport system in my kanji level that I can't just go and yoink because it uses DLC that I don't own anymore. But see, now I don't know how to get this thing to do the thing over here. Or maybe I do. And if I don't get it to work this time, I'm gonna like take a super quick break and then maybe just do some decoration work, because decoration work is kind of good for bleeding off aggression. Imagine him showing instant transition to Trunks and just being a hot mask woman. I mean, that works. That could totally be. Goku could be Himbo Butch. If we... What if we were to do this? What if this is my super brain moment? Wait, where did you go? Ah! Risco! Stop that! Does this actually turn on the controlinator? I don't know. Ah! If only Kronos were here, she says, hoping to summon Kronos. That totally doesn't do a thing. Also, everything is... I mean, clearly that's turning on, right? Because the camera's turning on? And that's... Why is that turning on everything? Why is everything lit up? I'm so confused. Like, it should be the opposite. Everything should be turned off. Oh, okay, so that... Everything is turned off. Good. Alright, so that's a start. And you're receiving power. And you are set to receive from nearest player. What am I doing wrong? Why must you be so difficult? I don't know. I don't know. And if I force myself to think about it, then I'm probably going to screw it up. So what we're going to do, let me take just like a 2-minute break, because I want to do a bio thing. And when we come back, we'll play around with a little bit of decoration. Maybe boop to some community levels and then come back into create mode afterwards. But yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Us, Melangard, it is wonderful to see you. Yes, it is. Gonna do a little bit of decoration work. I was trying to work out how to get a remote menu system working in order to set up the teleport system, and for some reason I cannot remember how to actually get the controlinator to function, even though this is a technique that I've used many times in the past. So, at the risk of making myself frustrated, I'm just taking a break from that to maybe do a little bit of deco work. I do have... You know what I could do? I don't have any music in the level yet. So I could put in a little bit of music, and then I could show the danger version of the level. I should be careful, because like I can see that the thermo wants to jump. The thermo wants badly to jump. And we don't want to let the thermo jump too much. Also, like, to go back to Alice for a second, I never really had a strong image of Gex as a character, because he was kind of like a little bit after my time as far as playing that type of game, like platforming type games. I never realized that Gex was quite so edgy. I didn't know that was a thing. It feels kind of weird. Where's my other cloud maker? These clouds are probably going to change in the final level, but this is actually something I just yoinked from the canyon set that I did. Gex is what happens when somebody writes lets a writer in love with Hollywood and TV do a Sonic clone 90s hip with the youth character. You get Gex, a character for no one besides me. Is Gex hip with the kids? Is he who the kids want? Oh, Soul! I got it. Oh, buggery. I gotta fix that. That's not what we wanted to happen. Gex wasn't hip with the kids when it was released because which kid would play a 90s mascot platformer where the main character talks about an adaptation of Emma? It is a nice menu. Like, I do like the menu, I just haven't gotten the menu functioning yet. And it's kind of a little bit frustrating. He's meant to be hip. That's like the worst kind. Is Gex like Poochie? Is Gex a Poochie character? Kids love Spangali jokes. First I heard of it, but fair enough. What do I know from kids these days? Nothing. All right, let's try this again. This time for real. He's Poochie if Poochie was talking a 30s Hollywood star that no one but Dana Gould remembers. Oh my god. Did Dana Gould write for Gex? I almost asked if Dana Gould wrote for Vex, and that's not right. Oh, wait, what? 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 Wow. That's... You're just like dropping the cursed knowledge on me tonight, and I appreciate that. Alright, now this area here is gonna get switched up. This is just kind of a placeholder right now. We'll turn it on to the danger. And immediately, I gotta do something about that. Don't want that to happen. That's not supposed to happen. Does Dana Gould also have a thing for Alicia Silverstone? And why is that vaguely gross? Got our little archivists. Dana Gould is gross adjacent. That's okay. That seems to track with what little I know of Dana Gould. Now there is going to be like a kill floor down there, and I'm thinking of setting it up that if the players haven't triggered the danger mode, that the kill floor will just teleport the player back here, so they can't actually die. But because we are playing with danger, we are playing with fire, that kill floor would just kill the player. Oh, for fudge sakes. It was also a joke. It was a joke about how she was in Clueless, and he was making a pun about he was clueless about something, and it would be good if Alicia Silverstone was here. Wow. Wow. We are in the danger zone. Because I figured, like, I mean, not every player is going to want the possibility of death. Some players might just want to do a little bit of practice platforming, and some players might want, you know, a bit of a challenge in there. And these archivists will tell players about the levels, so they can decide if they want to take a look at them. Wait, there are multiple Gex voices? Can the world stand multiple Gexes? Is the UK voice Stephen Fry or Hugh Laurie? Now, wait, why is this... Why are you not firing rockets? You should be firing rockets. And those rockets should be little Kokeshi dolls. Oh god! I didn't realize I would be able to do that. Sorry about that. I feel terrible now. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh god! You broke the cannon! See, this is why you playtest your levels, folks. Got more little archivists popping up out of the ground. Now, I don't hear any explosions. Why are you not shooting? Oh, because I never set up... Oh my god, Bisco, what is wrong with you? Also, that jump is not nearly high enough. These should be firing death rockets, as one does. There's like so little flow to this gameplay. I kind of hate it. And then if the player doesn't want to take any of the levels, they can go to the scoreboard. And that is the level. I like the helpers. I'm a really big fan of this object in general. But there's things I definitely need to fix. I should be making notes, honestly. It's just a very small, it's very self-contained. Us! MinePlanet! I will take a look at this level. Let me do a couple of quick fixes here. And... excuse me. Do a couple of quick fixes here. And I will... run over and peep that level. So y'all are on pistons, and the pistons would keep you from falling, so I think you should be on a piston. It's locked behind a code. Who'd have guessed? I'll send the code in here so everyone else can test it. This is good. I am looking forward to it. I just gotta make sure I'm not going to glue anything to anything that shouldn't be glued. Now, since I'm changing this to piston, I don't need that anymore. Put you up here for a sec. Alright, this isn't gonna get like stuck on a tree or anything. Good. I need you to be down here. I didn't glue you to the tree, did I? That would be very goofy. Okay, good. I did not do that, it seems. You get glued here. And then a sweet and swanky piston. That might not go down far enough. I am making this Kokeshi doll as a trigger to this cannon. And originally the Kokeshi doll was on, wait, why are you stuck to the tree? Like, you shouldn't be. You're not in the same layer. But it appears that you are, and I kind of hate it. I want the Kokeshi doll to trigger the firing mechanism for the cannon. Yeah, basically. Guilty Gear Zerd rollback day. That sounds very exciting. Are you going to be getting your Zerd on? Maybe. Now, is that rollback for everyone, or is it only rollback on PC? It's only on PC. Why must they always taunt us? blame the PC? I mean, I could. Blame the PS3. Wait, why am I blaming the PS3? You do not go down far enough to trigger the button. You goof. PS4 has crossplay with PS3. PS3 isn't powerful enough to run the rollback. Oh, hate that. That's not great. She's dancing. I mean, she could be a dancing queen. I don't remember any of the rest of that song, but something something only 17. Actually, that doesn't sound great. I don't. Now that I think about it, that sounds not great. Let's see if that does it. Are you gonna do the thing? I would like for you to do the thing. Dancing Queen, a machine, rah rah Rasputin. I suppose, if one must. One day PS3 will train hard and gain the power to roll backwards. I mean, I've got mine sitting down now because I think it wasn't enjoying standing up. Sony has made a few bad decisions. Just a couple. Just a few. You know, as one does. Now, I forget which... God, have I just buggered this? I might have done. Or not. I may possibly be a super genius. I do not know if I am a super genius yet, but I may be. Let me see. Okay, it moves forward. Did you actually do your thing, girl? Oh no, that's not gonna work. Okay, minor genius. Are you actually doing the jump? You are not. Also, you're gonna break something. I know there is an easier way to do what I'm trying to do. Please imagine a PS3 with blue anime hair and sailor outfit from my last message. Is that what the... Oh, wait. Sony's worst decision was to hamstring PS3-chan to keep her from rolling backwards. Now Sony must live with one eye watching their back in case their forgotten daughter returns with a knife. I feel like... I mean... Okay, like... She's gonna have to team up with... Like, the PSP-chan and the Vita-chan. Like you could make a squad out of that. You are not actually firing though, is the thing. I don't know why you're not firing. Like you're triggering the button. I busted this. Oh my god, have I ever? Now I'm gonna have to redo this thing, and I hate it. Why have I done this to myself? Or no, it's my fault. That's okay though. I've got a backup. I've got a backup. I've got the Mark II Kokeshi launcher. Acha. Even more powerful than the Mark I, but unfortunately not able to move within layer. So that's gonna have to get fixed. But, like, super doable. Make sure everything is straight. That's a joke. Okay, that's just how you want to be, I guess. What, I can't turn you? I can't rotate you at all? What? That's not... That seems weird. Disco, how have you done this? There. Was it always... Maybe it's because I did the, Okay, I think I know what the problem was. Who pitted the twin sisters against each other with the public's approval? Sony was there all along pulling the strings. Sony is jerks. Where's the grid snap? I don't want the grid snap for this. I'm suing. What? You're like, use the grid snap. Kronos is like, never use the grid snap. The two of you make up your mind. I'm telling ya. You give me Ajita. Ajita. What the heck was I even doing here? Oh, this was for the... That's fine. That's super fine. I don't even care about that. I'm suing Kronos as well. Well, make sure that you spell Kronos' name exactly like that with the lawsuit so that our Kronos doesn't get hurt. System Shock Remake slotted for March when there's no release date is super optimistic. Wait. I used to have post-its with the grid numbers on the TV as I worked on 2 different size screens, and I needed to know distance on the grid. Oh my god, I hate that. Des, I hate, like, every word of that sentence that you said right now, I hate. That sounds awful. I gave up. Is that why you gave up on your part 2? I remembered I reviewed part 1, but I think I reviewed part 1 like after you'd made it? Like way after you'd made it? And I remember thinking that it was a real shame that we never got part 2. I couldn't find anyone to help. That sucks. I hate that. Alright. Let's see how this works, shall we? Okay, not quite. Not quite. It's not instantaneous. How many seconds do you need? Like, how many seconds does it take to move forward and backwards in layer? Like, 1? Ninja bean. Wait, what? What is a ninja bean? What does that even mean? They look like Fall Guys characters. Okay. Is it a recent game? I guess it sounds like a recent game. It's on PS2? Okay. Why you gotta be like this, game? Why you gotta be like this? You are making me... You're being obnoxious. Game, you're being obnoxious. Look at her go. I mean, she is going. This version wasn't originally intended to move back and forth in layers, so it's kind of being a thing. Are you even moving all the way? Like, it's weird because she's not moving all the way back in layer. Oh, Kronos! It is wonderful to see you. I hope that you're doing very well tonight. Hope that life is treating you kindly. Is not being too much of a jerk. What is even the timing? That's a firing mechanism. That's the doll. Alright. So what if we put this on a longer timer? Is that like... Is that all the way in layer 2? Is that what layer 2 is these days? Oh God, I'm so sorry I knocked over your cannon again! Ah! Why must you be so difficult? Oh, for real? I did not know that. I'm brutalizing this poor thing, and I hate it. I feel so bad. Actually, let's be safe and put one of these on the camera, on the cannon as well. What are you looking at? What is the look at rotator looking at? It's looking at a tag called look. I don't know where that tag is. I think I needed that for something else, and I don't even care. Go away. Ah. That's not L2. I just hit it with L2. It's just making things disappear, Kronos. That's not... Do you just wander around with a tag sensor? R2, by the way, And I make the radius visible. Oh! That makes sense. The look was, I don't know. I had it there for a reason, but I don't think I need either of these. Oh, that's neat. I never thought about using them like that. You don't let me do one shot. Oh. Wait. Why are there two mover inputs? Why does that do that? Oh! But look at that, it moved all the way back to the second layer. Left one lets you control the exact position. Huh. And it's doing the thing I wanted it to do! Fancy me! Alright, let's, should you not be firing flowers? Okay, that's not turned on yet. Cool. There's our flowers. That works. Alright, let's check to make sure that it's firing rockets. You've taken this time to do some reflection. I'm glad that this was useful to you. Yes! 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 Success! Wait, you didn't fire a rocket right there. Half success! I am... This is why it takes me forever to make anything? Why don't you shoot there? Why don't you shoot there? What? There's nothing in the way. What the heck? Can I look at the sequencer in real time? Well, the sequencer's just, I think it's just firing off... The emitter is... here. The back emitter is the one for the rockets. The front emitter is the one for the flowers. Wait, I think there was a reason for this. I don't know why that does it, but that did it. For some reason, sometimes the rockets will collide with this material, even though there's no reason why that should happen. I love it. These are special homebrew rockets, by the way, because I got sick of them making a mess when they exploded. I am quite pleased with this. It is clever. Alright, but you don't need to shoot anything anymore, so we'll turn that off. Yeah, it's I've had issues with it. Problems have occurred nigh constantly. They need to import the shock bombs from LBP PSP, same as a regular bomb, but it causes no residue or destroys the ground. Oh, Squill! Thank you so much for dropping by tonight. I'm sorry that I was so spacey. I feel like I missed a couple of things that you said. And I do apologize for that, but please sleep well. It is a pleasure, as always, having you here. And I needed to say something else, and Brain, please. Now, let me just do this one last thing, which I realize I said before, but let me just do this one last thing, and then I'm going to have a cigarette, and then we're going to take a look at MinePlanet's level. We might play a couple other community levels, and then I probably will come back here before the end of the stream. As I said at the beginning of the stream, like, I have to get this level out this week, because this upcoming Friday's episode of LBSP is the last one I have in the backlog, and that's kind of a problem. So I'm going to have to spend next week working on the next couple of episodes, which means I can't be working on this level. So this has to be out by Wednesday. This fancy bread costs twice as much as normal bread and is smaller. I hate that. I'm not playing Desert Bus. What is wrong with you? Yes! Yes, I am. I don't have 8 hours for the stream. Corals are alive and classified as animals. Their branches, mounds are actually comprised of thousands of polyps. I actually knew one of these facts for once. I was aware of that. Corals are really neat, and they are unfortunately dying at a kind of furious rate. Okay, so if the danger tweaker is on and the players hit this kill floor, they will die. And if the danger tweaker is off and the players hit the kill floor, they will be teleported here. I actually put props at the bottom of my levels in case someone falls. What, so that they could see, like, what you had made? Like when you say props, what do you mean? Oh, gotcha. I like that. That's really cute. I don't necessarily want the players to see, like, what's under the level, although I have considered that maybe making a secret where the players would get a sticker that they could use to unlock a infinite jetpack. I love this wood. I think it's fabulous. Awesome. I just blocked it off and built high around it to prevent players from escaping. It's kind of like a running gag, Des, how many of the levels that I play for stream or show are breakable that way. Gonna give the cat meds. Bow means, Kronos? Med up that cat? Oh my god! Only had one person escape and they messaged me straight away with a picture. That's like pure LBP community. I can 100% see that happening. Like, lol, lol, broke your level, lol. Alright. That should be sorted. Got our kill floor sorted. So let's test this out in danger mode. I didn't get any decoration done because we got stuck on that silly cannon. Melengard said, it's so annoying when people just post a picture of them outside the level. How am I supposed to fix it if you don't tell me where the escape is? This is a thing. I have run into a couple levels where it's like, I managed to break the level, but I couldn't replicate the break. Because I know that's come up on the review show a couple of times. Where it's like, I know where it happened. And I have footage of me breaking it, but like I couldn't go back and redo it. I wish they'd redo as LBP games and release on PS5 or PS4, a PS6. You mean the old ones? You and MinePlanet are in the same boat. All right, we're gonna do a test run, Kronos. It's gonna be exciting. LBP do be like that sometimes. A lot of escapes and bugs come and go, especially if the level's doing dynamic thermo. Des wants re-release of the LBP games on PS5 and 6. This is very good news, Kronos. I am very, very happy about that. Also, we're gonna do MinePlanet. We're gonna do a quick test pass here, and then I'm gonna go right to your level. This should take about like 5 minutes. Alright, so... How did I squish myself there? Pop! It's good to know that works. These are glass, by the way. Well, they're not glass, they're frictionless because I couldn't figure out how to make the pillars, like, not rub up against each other. And it was really bugging me. I feel like the extra layers in LBP3 made it too complex. Yeah, that's not unfair. You know how to fix the pillars scraping on each other? This is great. I go through the trouble to make a kill floor, and I actually... Well, I still died, so that's fine. Oh, bugger. Oh, don't worry about it. If you remember, like, that's cool. If you don't, no stress. Oh, you made a suggestion. Use a physics tweaker on ignore tag. Oh, and have them ignore the other pillars? Oh, that's... Yeah, that's smart. That's actually a really, really good idea. Oh. This section is such a pain in the butt. And I almost regret making it, but I couldn't think of any, like, particularly good gameplay section to go here, so... Oh. Physics tweakers set to have collision for it and set it to Sackboy, so only Sackboy can interact with it. That's also a good idea. Excuse me, you should be shooting. Oh! You're not shooting because I changed your cannon, and now that's not the same color as the tag that starts the shooting. Okay, that's fine. That's actually honestly super fine. I'm okay with that. They are shooting here. And that is something... Oh! That was close. Tower of... Wait. What? What just happened there? Tower of Whoop. What? That was really odd. I guess it thought that .png at the end was a word or a link. Oh! You know what? Probably, because we have it set so that only mods and myself can put in links. Ah! Okay, that made like a lot more sense, because honestly, that looked like something that had gotten censored in LBP, and I was like, MinePlanet isn't the kind of person that would put a word that would need to be censored in chat, but then what the heck happened? Same thing as a swear filter that blocks out the word assistant. Mood? Oh, what a terrible jump. That is an awful jump. yosh! And that's pretty much the level. And it works. As soon as I get the teleporter to work, like, the mechanics of the levels seem like they're sound. Not like... It's not great, but they are really tight, and I probably should give them a little bit more leeway. What was that MMO that had Assassin class that no one could mention in chat because of the filters? Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's great. I love everything about that. That makes the assassins like even more mysterious, that you can't mention them explicitly. Code is 9743. If I were to rate it based on your system, I'd give it a middling yellow square. I mean, honestly, Kronos, I wouldn't give it much better. It needs decoration passes, definitely. But as a strict... Like, if I were just judging it on gameplay, there's not really any scaffolding for the different types of gameplay sections. They're all, like, requiring slightly different types of skill, so they definitely should be built up to, and they are not. That's, like, probably the biggest one. It's not, like, cohesion. It's not cohesive in a gameplay sense. Camera could be better. This is true. And the pattern is pretty chaotic. That is all. There's no pattern in the tower. Like... I'm not like trying to just like brush it off and be like, oh well, I meant to make a bad level, because I do want to make a level that's actually enjoyable, but 84. What like Commodore 64? What was I even thinking? Black Diamond is a skiing term. It's... I don't know if it's like industry standard, but for how ski slopes are rated for difficulty, you've got... Let me see if I can remember this. Because I didn't do skiing, but there was a skiing club in the schools I went to, and a lot of the kids did do skiing. It was green circle, blue square, black diamond, and double black diamond, I think. Check out the pins. Oh my god, you got platinum and royalty? I hate it. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it. Grimoire once more. Why has NIS decided to release a game on April 4th in America and April 14th? I have no idea. That's like... That seems weird? Wait, 9743. That does seem weird. I mean, you're not wrong. Aussie is its own beast of a language. I love that you have these on buttons, MinePlanet. And by love, I mean I love that you have these on buttons. Just cut all your words in half and end them in O. Just cut-o all your wordos in half-o. But I'm not even cutting them. But they're all only one syllable. So that doesn't work. That's actually like a really... I like that effect. MinePlanet, that was really cool. It's like you had the key encased in lucite. This is a nice little lockbox. I'm guessing that... I don't know what material this is. Maybe a matte plastic? And then whatever cardboard material you've got in the background, you've got it set back like a little bit in layer. Oh, light matter. Oh, wow. That's going back. That's like a step in the Wayback Machine. Kronos, I don't remember your lockbox except for the fact that it can't be cheated. The water looks nice. I'm sorry, Kronos, I am honestly sorry, but I've only seen your lockbox like once, and that was not within the last year. Now, I will say that I love your lockbox in Tower Defense, and that was the thumbnail for the stream that we looked at it, and it still comes up on my... Like, my screensaver cycles through, like, all the photos I've got in DL art, and it comes up, and every time I see it, I'm like, that looks nice. Like, it's just really slick looking. And, of course, the number that we tried to use was 42069, because, of course, we did. So I get a little chuckle. But I do remember, like, isn't your lockbox, doesn't it use symbols as well as numbers? So you can't even really break it? I will. Oh, this is it, Forest. Finally landing after being whisked away by the Mafia, Sackthing find themselves in a strange but deadly forest. Where are they? Can they escape with their stuffing still intact? I like it. This is the one that you were, You were showing me, did you show me some video or some photos the other day? Also, Hive, you shared with me that album, and I will listen to it. Photos, okay, and video. I have a memory. Not like a particularly strong memory, but I do have memory. Kronos, I'm going to do drawings this year. Be prepared for violence. It's still in beta, so keep in mind it ain't perfect. MinePlanet, you just saw the level that I'm making right now, so I'm not going to be throwing any forms of shade. I have no shade to throw. There's none in my wheelhouse. My field whereineth I groweth my shadeth is empty of all shade. Will you play Cosmic Crossfire this stream? I will. There's quite a lot of world building not mentioned, so if there's any questions, just ask. I will do that. Kronos, are you still feeling the art block? Because I know that you were talking about that a little bit, like a couple streams back? Okay. You're not beating yourself up, are you? I hope that you're not beating yourself up. Kronos? 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 Please don't. Hey! I did make a new flag. I like this one. I feel like it turned out to be a lot easier to... It turned out to be a lot more readable than I expected. I was afraid that adding in the yellow triangle and circle for intersex folks would make the design too busy for the size I usually do the stickers, but it's still like quite readable. I was really happy about that. I love those little guys. That is an ambush! Oh my god, it's an ambush! Oh my god! MinePlanet, I love it. It took me like... It took me, honestly, like 5 seconds to figure it out. It's like, it wasn't an ambush. It didn't surprise... Oh, it's because it's foliage! Oops. That's what I get for trying to read. If either winner were a complete stranger, this art block would be a million times worse. I can imagine that, because at least, like, the folks who know are, one would hope, more understanding. Previous comment, crumbs. That thing was a jump scare. It did surprise me. I'll say this at the very least, I'm fortunate that the winners of the raffle are in one of the discords that I'm in. They always make a noise before popping. They do make like a little, kind of like a hissy, rattly type of thing. Good choice of backgrounds, by the way. I like the, what's the word I want? I like the juxtaposition. Snapdragons have been using trees and pits as their homes. Please exercise caution if you trespass in this part of the woods. Oh! I didn't even know that I had the grappling hook. Womp womp. Nice birdie. That's actually... Like, is the neck actually bobbing up and down? Snapdragons get their substance from... That's well done. Any other kinds of foods may cause us to suddenly erupt. Well, I don't want anything to explode. Oh! Wait. Wait, you are a piece of cardboard. My cardboardy friend, you are in the way. Oh, nice! Ah! Oh! I am smart! I know what I'm supposed to do. Took me a sec. Ho! Ho! Super genius! Yes, they are really quite nice. Take that, Snapdragon! You ain't got nothing on me. Can I get up onto the leaves? Are those supposed to be grabbable? I may have outsmarted myself. Okay, I am being pants. Ah! Okay, that worked. Fun fact, the ambush design was a placeholder, but I quite liked it, so I kept it. I like the ambush. I think the ambush are quite cute. I also like the jump scare. Are you of danger? Are you going to hurt me? Can we be friends? Ooh. That's a... Now, MinePlanet, I love you, but that's bad checkpoint placement. I would say that you're gonna want... You're probably gonna want a checkpoint around here. Well, I mean, okay, that was probably a little bit harsh on my end. Nothing to, like, kick yourself too much over, but I feel like unless you've got a level that is really got a smooth gameplay flow to it, if you've got obstacles that are more, how to put it, like, if you have fiddly obstacles where even after the player figures out what they need to do, they still might have to do it a couple of times to actually get it to work, you probably don't want to force them to do it, like, more often than necessary. If you're being chased by a Snapdragon, do not run. We will always catch you. Lie down and accept your fate. I hate that. Not only can the Snapdragons read and write, but they wrote that notice. Well, the pen is mightier than the sword. So, while the Snapdragon's teeth may be quite... Why am I not grabbing... Oh, because it's on fire. You can't grab stuff that's on fire. While the Snapdragon's teeth may be quite deadly, not nearly as deadly as its movie reviews. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Okay, Disco, you want to get a little bit serious here. Oh fudge. Buggery! Apropos of nothing, and might not mean anything, but why is Ozzy Osbourne still alive? He's made out of leather. He's been taxidermied like Keith Richards. He's just full of stuffing. That was on my end, by the way, MinePlanet. I don't think I was giving that last hazard the attention that it needed. It's not as lethal as its thermal throttling issues. What? Hive, what? What is a thermal throttling issue? That feels like a very weird thing to say. Smartphone technology jokes? Okay. Okay. I suppose. Is the Snapdragon like a type of smartphone? Oh! Well, there you go. See, I deserve that. It's a chip in a phone, as opposed to a chip in a cookie. Oh, fudge. Oh, fudge. Oh, fudge! Oh, nice! Skill! Press options on your controller and select return to pod now. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'll return to pod. I think I will deal with these snapdragons. I do enjoy my foam Pringles. I've been captured. I've been captured by the ambush. Okay. So, like, are we stuck in a cutscene, or is this gonna take us? Like, we've got to back out manually? Okay, gotcha. I liked it. I liked it. I do think you're gonna wanna. Well, no, you're gonna want to do what you want to do with it, but I would suggest having a bit of a think about where you want those checkpoints to be. As far as like gameplay, I think for the most part it works. It's a bit slow right now, but you're kind of building up to something, so that's not really so much of an issue. The grappling hook bit is a little bit fiddly, but that I'm gonna put on me, because I do tend to, as much as I like the grappling hook and I like it a lot, I'm not really all that great with it. So that's I'm gonna take as a personal fault on my end. I don't know, like, I feel like you're maybe a couple runs of visual polish, but it's still like early in the build, so I would have been surprised if you'd had it polished up already. So I would expect that to get better as it goes on. I made a tiny bit of an Easter egg. If you grab it and launch yourself, you can grab the ambush at the beginning. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna give that a try. I can't check anymore now that LBP is dead. Oh. Oh, is that... Are you asking about your high scores, Kronos? I am gonna check, I'm gonna check, see if you still got the high score in CC2. Oh, fudge! Did I miss my chance? Is it already gone? Oh, buggery. Well, we're not gonna accept that. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unexpected monkey bars! Oh, that's what I should have put in the level. I don't have a single monkey bar. Not a one. I don't even have an orangutan. That worked better in my... That was way funnier in my head. I hate it. You should have a monkey bar section that off the beaten path that goes straight to the finish. That would be pretty funny. But I mean, do keep in mind, Kronos, that the like the gameplay in there is just kind of for fun, but really the point of the level is the level links. Like, I am going to put a scoreboard in it in case people want to keep their scores, because I'm going to put some point bubbles in there, but mostly it's... That's kind of why I want to get the teleport system in, is that If the players don't want to screw around with the gameplay stuff at all, they can just teleport directly to the level link sections. Which reminds me, I do need to ask you. I kinda love it! Grab the lower left corner and swing to the left, then as it uprights itself, let go. Okay, well I think I missed the chance on that one, so... This is a nice background. Like, what? Is this from the moveset? Grab the lower left corner, swing to the left, and then as it uprights itself, let go. Okay, that's a little bit complex, but I'll see if I can do it. It's also horrendously glitchy. Oh, I didn't ask you yet, but I'm going to ask you. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to do. Let me pause this here so I get the question out. I want to set up a menu for the teleporter so that when the players grab a console, it'll take them like to the menu. They can scroll up and down through the teleporter, and then they can hit O and it'll teleport them to that section of the level. But I can't remember how to go from, you know, grabbing something in the level and then having that take you to an off-screen teleporter. And it's really bugging me because I used that technique all the way throughout the kanji school. Like, I actually had a really nice teleporter set up. And I cannot remember for the life of me, like, how I did it. Like, it would take you to a menu, basically. I can show you later so that you could see it directly, but that's what I'm talking about. Oh god, I can't even think. Background itself is bugged beyond belief for some reason. That's so weird. Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm gonna try this one more time, see if we can get the Easter egg, and then I'm gonna go play Cosmic Crossfire, and then we'll go back to my create mode, and I can show you that menu system, or I can let you know in a DM. I could do that, but that would require me moving pictures from the PS4 to the to my laptop. The thing is, like, I'm sure that it's a really easy technique with controllinators, and I just am not remembering how they work at all, and it's just utterly embarrassing. Let go as it snaps itself upright and hold right. Oh, swing it to the left. Oh, buggered it. Fudge. What were we supposed to see? MinePlanet, because I do want to take a look at the Cosmic Crossfire levels. I either had a high score in either CC1 or CC2. I don't know. I just really want to believe my 1 to 2 hours of effort remains uncontested. Well, let's peep it. Cosmic. If you remember, there was a stream that I joined you where we were messing around in create mode. I do remember that. Alright, so we want to check the leaderboards first. You are 4th place on Cosmic Crossfire 1. And... somehow I broke the neck of a fish object, leaving it severely deformed. You are 4th place on Cosmic Crossfire 2. Fourth place is still pretty gosh darn solid. Now, of these 2 levels, which one do you recommend? It also has the word speedrun strats under it. I love it. One of the levels must be invisible. Oh wait, no, there's just 2 locked ones. I remember both being pretty solid. Then let me peep the first one. Cause that didn't get the team pick, so it's the underdog. I mean, I'd be pretty happy. On a competitive level, like where there's been lots of plays, pulling in like a respectable top 5 is pretty nice. You got 2nd place for the level making contest and got a crown. That is slick. I ain't never gonna get no crown. Still 1 tier above the creator, which is the important part. I mean, you're not wrong. Alright, we got little glorples. You can buy one on eBay? Wait, what? You can buy an LBP crown on eBay? How would that even work? Like, do they sell you a, oh, you can buy a real crown. Well, I mean, I would hope so. There's gotta be some dispossessed king who's, like, I don't need this crown anymore. I've been dispossessed. I don't want a reminder of my failed monarchy. Oh gosh, this is, rapidly becoming frenetic. Level up! I used to wear a fake LBP crown, as in the hard hat with decorations on it to make it look like a crown. I love that. That's so cute. That's such a kid thing to do. Now you're gonna tell us you did that when you were like 19, and then I'm gonna be like, that's so cute. That's such a kid thing to do. Oh fudge. Oh fudge. Oh fudge. And I will look at that in just a second, Alice. I got all this stuff is trying to killinate me. I should probably remember that I've actually got... Oh my god, that's it? I'm reminded now of the story that the Portuguese government found and bought long-lost skull of an important king in Portugal on, like, our local version of eBay. Now, weren't we talking about ethically sourced bones the other day? I feel like we were talking about that, and like, if you buy the skull of a former monarch, is that, like, 'cause the monarchy bad, monarchy is an oppressor class, and we're assuming long dead. No living relatives to claim it? Now I wonder. Probably not. Probably that's still on the... That's on the sketchy side, I'm gonna guess. There are living relatives. Well, then you gotta give the skull back to them. They get first choice. They might want to drink wine out of it. Don't drink wine out of skulls. They would be terrible receptacles. You got all sorts of holes in there. I mean, I guess it depends on how far you're filling up the skull. But, like, if you're filling up the skull all the way up to where the sinuses are, like, you're just gonna end up with wine everywhere. And then you'll feel silly. You don't want to feel silly. Also, I just realized that Automod tried to catch Coward, and I hate it. No one in the Portuguese royal family wants anything to do with it. I mean, it's probably cursed. They live in like one castle and do nothing. They're probably afraid they'll get the chop. As well they should. My spinning technique is going to bring all the milkshakes to the yard, which will then bring all the boys in the yard, and then I'll have to be like, boys, get out of my yard. I didn't ask you here. I love the music. This is really nice. It's a very clean looking level. The first version as well. Oh wow, those little starbursts when things explode? That's nice looking. That is a really, really nice little detail. The destruction was handmade. I mean, the best destruction is bespoke. You don't want to get machinery in your destruction. You want to be like, you want to put love into that. Unst, 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 unst. Alright, we gotta get to at least 42,000, or 4,260, so that we can beat Hirunda. Oh! Oh, 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 oh! And then, like, the jump between the score for Hirunda and then this Grant kid went from like 4,200 to 350,000. That seems like a bit of a lot. Oh, Des, welcome back. We stopped playing LBP. We're doing a smash indie hit, Sternden. Sternden is not a smash indie hit, but it has heart. It has charm. I liked it better than Really Big Sky, which, and I don't know why, but strikes me as vaguely Australian. I mean, I think that the dev team was Australian, so that would make sense, but... I remember there were giant flame-throwing Tyrannosaur skulls in it. Doesn't everywhere have a Really Big Sky? Tokyo doesn't. Tokyo's sky is like blocked off everywhere you look. Ah, fudge! I was just trying to look at chat game. Would you just chill out? Oh my god. Game! Freaking have an ounce of chill. It's blocked by the tower, like it is in Paris. You know, I still have not... I have been to neither. I got trophies? How do I get trophies? I love it. Multiplier of 3 or more for math. This is so cool. It's really nice, isn't it? Yeah, I've never been to Tokyo Tower. I've never been to the Sky Tower or the Sky Tree. I'll take 442nd place as a first effort. I want to go back and play that again. Like, not right now, but yeah, I definitely want to give that one another shot. I used CC2 as the baseline for the tower defense UI before branching it off into something else. Huh. Getting a chance to look at the DNA. Alright, Kronos, I'm gonna show you the thing I'm talking about. Osaka has Tsutenkaku, and it's not like... Tsutenkaku is not particularly big, but it is based very strongly on the Eiffel Tower. And it is in a very, like, low-rent tourist area that has gone... Well, they spruced it up again, and I kind of hate it because when I first got to Osaka, it was just really super seedy, and you had like... It was just all kushikatsu shops and old drunks and yakuza and cross-dressers, and that was the neighborhood. In the 70s and early 80s, it was like a popular family spot, and there was even an amusement park inside a building, kind of. Like, the building didn't have a roof, but everything was like kind of enclosed in this building. And we actually went on the roller coaster in there, one of the last rides before they actually shut it down. It was kind of terrifying because it would go past things that were very close to your head, because, you know, there's not like a lot of building space. There's not like a lot of free space there for a roller coaster. I used to love that neighborhood, but a lot of those restaurants were family owned, and the parents either got too old to run the restaurants or they died, and the kids didn't want to take them over because, like, they were just barely sustainable kushikatsu joints. So they got bought out by a bunch of chains, and that neighborhood has gotten like super cleaned up, and it has no charm anymore. Although I do think that there is still a burnt out husk of an apartment building there, that the land is, I think, owned by the Yakuza, and for some reason they haven't let it go, and I don't remember why. But okay, so Kronos, so here's the thing, right? So this is just it's just a placeholder console here. Gonna have the player would grab this to trigger the menu, and it would shift the camera over to here, right? So the camera would be like, you would have this view, and I want it so that the player can scroll through this menu, and like, as they scroll, it would light up the different floors, well, the different areas, which is a little hard to see right now. And depending on what they have selected, then it would feed into an AND gate with the O button, and that would, you know, trigger the teleport to get them to the area. But I don't remember, like, how to connect this bit of logic to this bit of logic. Does that make sense? Kronos has gone silent. You want the grab to activate the cutscene on the menu. Like, but I want the menu to be usable. Like, I know how to activate the camera. That's not really the issue. The issue is, how do I get it so that they can actually... I mean, I guess one way I could do it, but it just seems like a lot of replicated logic would be to make it wireless and have, like, have a controlinator that's putting out tags that would... Hi, brain meats, I'm not talking very well. It's not making a lot of sense. I'm sorry. Like, what I could do is, instead of putting a controlinator here, I could put, like, it's got infinite auto range. Then when the input for the controlinator is active, you cannot enter that controlinator. When the input for a controlinator is active, you cannot enter that controlinator. Okay, so... Okay. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Right. Right. Why is this grayed out? When you select a waypoint, make it reactivate the input followed by its character teleport. That's classy. You're playing the level from Kronos yesterday. Which, was it a simple platformer? Because that's a good level. That's like a really good level. Alright, so, okay, I'm seeing this. So you don't need to be here. I mean, you do need to be here, but... The demo and neon levels, ooh, they're good. Those are good levels. Alright, so... let me... God, this is so messy. If this level can be played via multiplayer, add 3 more controllinators with no functions. However, they can only be active when the main controller has someone in it. Ho 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 ho. Right. Okay, so. So. I don't know why everything has got to be shuttled through here. I'm doing pretty well now. Was having like a bit of a rough time earlier, but I'm definitely doing better now. Why did I have these inputs like scrolling through here? That's just ugly. Alright, let me fix some stuff here. Where are these inputs going? I sort of use this trick for tower defense. Alright. I wish I could remember how I had it set up for my school level. Like, it really kind of bugs me a little bit. God, I wish I could just edit that school level. It's so annoying that it's Cyclops's... It's not Cyclops's visor, but it's like... It's something like that. One little thing from the Marvel kit, and I can't even get into that level anymore. It is, as it were, kind of infuriating. Alright, so we got that. Now... anyone own an Evercade? What is an Evercade? I honestly, I have never heard that before. Now, so we want... we want to reverse this. It's a little mini retro console. Huh. What are these? Oh, fudge. Right. Gosh darn it. Been looking at it since my son got a retro Game Boy-like device for Christmas. Huh. No, it's first I've heard of it. Alright, you gotta go here. here. I feel like there is another way to do this with broadcast chips, and I just cannot remember how. Now, I can't remember. Are these... Welcome back, Kronos. I was just saying that I feel like there is a way to do these menus via broadcast chips, but I can't get the brain meats to come up with the idea right off the top of my head. And it kind of bugs me. I wish there was a third-party site for LBC. Oh my god, would that be awesome though? Right, button is down. It is lit up. Nice. So then we just need to get the camera. Can you put the camera directly in the controlinator? And have it, like, trigger while the sack thing is in the controlinator? Does that work? Yes. Okay. Controlinator input doesn't turn off the circuit board, it only ejects the player. Okay. Alright, let's give this a whirl. So you are T1. And you need to be T2. Right, we gotta replace all of these. Right. Considering that, like, I basically threw most all of this together in a couple of days, I'm kind of pleased. Not gonna lie. And one of those days was almost entirely spent on getting the cannon to work. Which reminds me, let's make sure that that's set to purple? Why was it green? I don't know. Why were all the other ones yellow? I don't know. Clearly I had some kind of plan. Not perhaps a particularly good one, but I had a plan. I should have... Oh my god. Risco, why did you not... I would probably... The grab beacons, I would probably put grab S to counter and tag to menu. That's actually like exactly how I've got them set up. Oh, we don't need the broadcast chips anymore. Those are useless. What were you doing? What was your gimmick? I don't know if you had a gimmick. I bet nobody can guess what the secret level is. And by when I say nobody can guess what the secret level is, I think everybody knows what the secret level is. Anyone who knows like anything about me would. The Krabby Patty secret formula. That would be a pretty great secret level to feature. I will have to give that strong consideration. You are T3. And you are T4. And I think... I almost unironically made a level that took place inside Fort Squidward? What? What? Okay. Alright, let's give this a shot. See how this works for us. Eh? Eh? Chotomate. Oh, right. Right. Right? You are on... Oh, the trigger range needs to be much larger. That should be more than enough. One would hope, one would think. Okay, so that part works. I press up, it goes down. I press down, it goes up. If I press down, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's not so great. But pressing up does scroll through everything. The lights are lighting the way they're supposed to. The buttons are going in. Except for that button number 6. That looks like it's just always down. Don't know what's going on with that. Could I see the selector logic? Yeah. Let me just, Well, that's the O button. Oh! It worked! Gotta figure out what's going on with that camera. I don't know why there were, oh, because it was unskippable, right. Nope. Oh, 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 oh. Alright, I've got to go, but thank you for the stream and good luck with your level hub. Melangard, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. I super appreciate it. It's always fun to have you here. I also really appreciate your patience and me just kind of like messing around with this, because I know that it can be sometimes a little bit annoying to just watch somebody noodle like this, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Do you not? It does do purple and teleport. So that should be, like... If you put the max range below 0, it becomes infinity. I do remember that. I also remember reading someone say that, to avoid using infinite range sensors when possible. I don't remember if there was a reason, but so why there are drawbacks for specific situations, but I can't remember what. Oh, the selector is up here. So it's just the up-down wired into there. Does it need to be on a splitter? It needs to be on a splitter, doesn't it? I need to be doing that. God, this has been ages. Because as it stands, it only recognizes it as on-off. Gotcha. Right. I feel like there was something else that was kind of had gone wonky. Right, that's feeding into where it needs to be, so that part's fine. We can leave that. So let's try this again. Why are you not... I mean, the range should be fine. And we could set it to infinite just to see if that helps, but... The level is not that big. And it did, like, it did turn this off. So we should have been auto-sucked up into the controlinator? Make this infinite as well, just be careful. Is this a transmitter? It is set to no remote control? Why is the trigger radius at 0? You should be infinite. What the heck? Controlinator? Why do you decide that you don't want to work like anything else does? God. LBP! What do you do? Go home, you're drunk. I swear, Kronos. Did we want it to be a transmitter? Was that a thing that we wanted? I'm surprised that thing doesn't have an implied drunken episode at any point. I mean, they oughta. I guess we're gonna try this again. See what we're doing wrong. Okay. It's still not working for up. But at least it's going down properly. Try cutting out the counter in the splitter path. Okay. Now I did hit O, and nothing happened. Oh, I wonder if the counter for that is... I bet I... Whoa! Whoa, what happened there? Yo! Yo! Why did you... What? Go home, you're drunk! Us! Claire, it is wonderful to see you. I hope you're doing very well tonight. Hope that life is treating you kindly, not giving you any garbage that you feel like you can't deal with. Okay, this one at least that's... I got the issue there. That makes sense. I forgot to change that counter to 1. 'Cause I'm a silly girl. Are you... No. No. What? Why are you not, like, auto-sucking me in? It's so weird. Automatically enter, yes. Layer range? I mean, we'll put it at 16, but I don't think that's the problem. All players. We wanted it on transmitter, right, Kronos? It's cold out and I don't like it. That's a whole mood. Alright, so... Is it faced the right way? I mean, that shouldn't be a thing? Like, it's not, we're not actually driving anything, so... Eh? Eh? Why did you suck me up now? I didn't touch anything. The drunkenness. Kronos, the drunkenness. Okay. Why? What? What is happening? This is the ejection button. Why are you... Kronos, why is it doing this? Hold up. Excuse me? Why are you on... Oh, I think I know what the issue with the camera is, because I haven't actually reset the camera. So that might be part of the problem. Because these cameras are supposed to have a reset. My standard practice when I test logic, I always undo after finished testing. I mean... What is going on? What is going on with you? So it's clearly not doing the automatically suck me up, which sounds disgusting, and I kind of wish I hadn't said it, but I did. This is triggered, I mean, we could even, like... We could even, like, not use the tag. We could just use the pulse counter. I don't know if that would help, but... It might. Alright, so the eject is on. That's still not doing it. It did turn off the... It turned off the auto eject, but it didn't do the auto pickup. What is that? What is going on with that? I mean, there's no reason that the fact that it's on sticker panel would do anything, because we always just use sticker panel. Oh god, we are almost at 3 hours too. I don't know, Kronos. Something is weird. Something has gone weirdly sideways. And unfortunately, I don't think we really have the time to debug it. So, I might, like... I mean, only if you want to. Don't feel beholden. I'm gonna do like one last really quick run through this in non-danger mode. Just for fun. And so I could see flowers. And then after that, we'll just, we'll just I'll have to figure something out. Well, I mean, like I said, What? What? It's drunk. Kronos, it's drunk. Why did it suddenly start working? Alright, so we're in non-danger mode now, so the spiky saw blade, no longer here. I mean, it's still there. It's just, it's invisible and intangible. The pillars do not electrify at the top. I have to put some clouds down there to, like, hide the kill zone. Which, in non-danger mode, is not a kill zone, but it's just a teleporter. The spinning Kokeshi do not kill you when you touch them. The spikes still kill you. I'm gonna have to do something about that, but... You are no longer shooting flowers. Why are you no longer shooting flowers? Shoot the flowers! Shoot them! With flowers! Oof! Oof, Kronos! Now, these ones are shooting flowers, so at least there's that. You're right, I should give a little bit more leeway on the bounce pads. They are probably too tight. Well, now it doesn't work anymore! What? Ah! Ah! This is getting my goat. My goat is being gotten, Kronos. That's okay. That's okay. But, we are gonna have to wrap things up. We are at the 3-hour point. So, folks, I did have a lovely time tonight. This was really a much needed kind of low impact stream after my day today. It was nice to just kind of let things flow. I know we didn't get a chance to look at too many community levels, but at least we got to take a look at MinePlanet's new stuff. We got that nice shooter, that Kronos, that you had recommended. I did enjoy those a lot. Got some work done on the hub here. Hopefully this will be done in a week. Will it? I don't know, but hopefully. And yes, as always, everyone, thank you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I will ask you, as I always do, to please be, taking care of your body's needs. Get your rest, if you can. The water or electrolytes that you happen to need, get those too. Remember that there are a lot of people out there who are rooting you on, who want you to do well. I'm one of those people, but I'm definitely not the only one. But from me, Risco, here in Tokyo, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.